Welcome to MLB Showdown community. Today we're going to be talking about the balance hitting team. I'm Colby Tallafuss with my guest host Kyle Pelt, the connoisseur.
Yep.
We went to the land of hitting. We came back with an 8-7 win over there. We went to the land of pitching. We had a 2-0 win, and I absolutely loved every minute of it. And I was not in physical pain, even thinking about it.
No.
But now we're going to go right down the middle. So here's the question: is this the lineup to win? I want to win my league. I have fun winning. I don't care about scoring runs or keeping people off the boards. I love winning. Is this the lineup?
Yeah, I think this is definitely the lineup to win. I mean, you guys probably can tell by now we're definitely a little bit more biased towards heavy hitting lineups. And so we have to swallow our pride a little bit here and say that the balanced lineup is definitely the way to win. I mean, how do you think we're going to do that with this lineup? You guys see the points there behind us. How are we going to spend those?
You have your two options. You have your pinging lineup where you're just going to take the average, which is 325 here. You're going to try to be as close as possible, maybe a little bit more in your 3-4 guys and a little less at the bottom.
Yep.
But we're really just going to attack with on base with our pingers and our money ballers. I think you still have the option to have a really extreme hitting front, which makes this playable for me. You can really have fun players here. Looking at 2,400 points in your first 5 guys, and then spending your last 200 on your last 3 or so. That is an option here still. So that means every offensive player is still on the board for you. Whereas if you're a pitching extreme, you're not going to have all those guys.
Yep.
Who are your top 5 guys if we're going to maybe condense them all to the front?
Yeah, if we're going to load the front, and we'll give you guys a bit of a treat and highlight who we really love this year. Number 1, and I think this is the consensus, we've talked about him a bunch, Joey Bats, Jose Bautista.
Oh, yeah.
The 11, 18 to 20, elite power, one of the only elite powers, solid speed with a speed V, great fielding. He's going to do it all for you. Get him, plug him in the 3 or 4 hole, and just let him take care of business. Number 2 for me is Curtis Granderson. He gets the nod over Matt Kemp for me because he always puts himself in scoring position. Love that about him. Matt Kemp does come in at 3rd for me. I would definitely love to have a Matt Kemp on my team. Plus 20 speed. He's a 3 fielder and center fielder, 10, 18 to 20. He's taking care of everything for you. Absolutely great card there. Number 4 for me, and I know you and I are going to disagree here. First base is very deep, but I love Albert Pujols. He's a 9 with a 17 to 20 power, so he's going to hit a ton of home runs. He's a speed A, which is very that you don't find that a lot, and he's a +1 fielder with a great chart. Love Albert Pujols this year, and I'm going to try and get him on my teams. After that, I think that we're going to give the nod to a guy like Troy Tulowitzki. I really like him. Sub 500 points, +5, 10. Great guy as well. And then we'll round it out with somebody like a Jacoby Ellsbury. He's just an all-around solid player in center field. How about you? Who are you going to pick to load the top of your lineup?
Agree with you on Bautista. Power, he's an 11. 11s are always going to get a little bit of a bump in your ratings because there's only 2 of them. I put the triplets all the same. I put those 3 center fielders, just however you like them. The preference, Ellsbury's a little bit more pure speed. Granderson's the 9 with a little bit better chart. Pick what you like. Do what you like. You know I'm all about that around here. And I'm going to bring in Dustin Pedroia as my 5 hitter. I know, or as my number 5 guy here. I keep coming back to the fact that there are no other 9s at second base besides utility. He's a 10. He's a speed A. He does a lot of good things. He's 500 points. You're paying for a lot of things you don't like. I have nothing but bad things to say about him, and he's in my top 5 because he's just that good.
Yep. Basically, I think all that to say, he will end up on somebody's team, and he will perform well, and he'll probably be, bar none, the best second baseman this year. Just because you don't like him doesn't mean he's not a top 5 player.
No, and I have to be unbiased, and I think he's going to do good things. And I hate to say that because I love to watch him play.
Yep.
So the laser show in the top 5 here. And then, let's flip the coin. Who are the top 5 aces? We didn't really talk about that last time because we just spent away our problems.
Yeah. You could spend away your problems in the last one. And this one, you got to be a little bit more careful. Top 5 guys. The Joey Bautista of pitching is definitely Justin Verlander. Go get him. He's going to win you games, guys. There hasn't been a pitcher like him since 2000, 2001, and Pedro Martinez. He's definitely going to take care of business for you. I love Roy Halladay. Bit of a homer pick there. I'm a Phillies fan. Got to go get him. I'd probably pick him personally over Justin Verlander if I had the choice, but that's just because I'm a diehard Phillies fan. Third for me is going to be Cole Hamels. I know that there's a lot of speed this year, but he's just a dominant guy, and I think I really like him for the points. Number 4, I'm going to come in at Clayton Kershaw. Love Clayton Kershaw this year as well. He strikes people out like crazy. Speed can't handle that, which is definitely a good thing. And number 5, to round it out, I'm going to give Tim Lincecum the nod here. Very slightly over Cliff Lee. He beat out my homer pick there. What about you?
I agree with you in the top 3, and I want to put Hamels above the other 2 because I just love his chart so much, but I think speed's going to hurt him this year. I think he's going to give up more tallies than the other guys. People just creating runs off him with that ground ball. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to bring in Cliff Lee with his 1 to 10 non-advancing out as a 3. I'm going to go low control on the back end here with the 3-1 to 18 and the 2-1 to 18 with James Shields as a 2 8-inning pitcher.
Yeah.
Which, he's also 1 to 18. It's interesting. I want to see him play. I want somebody to play with him and send me back some good positive feedback. And I know I'm not going to spend the points for him, so somebody out there go do it for me. And tell me that you love him because I'm going to give him a little nod here and I'm going to put him in the top 5.
Yep. Somebody take the risk on James Shields that the guru is not willing to take.
I can't do it, guys. And that brings us to our next question, which is we're doing the bullpen, and the last couple times it's either, okay, we're relying on the bullpen or we don't need it really all that much at all. This time we're in the middle, so.
Yeah, well, this year with the bullpen, it's going to be important on the balance. I mean, we've talked about the bullpen being important in all of them, and the balance is going to be just as important, and here's the reason why. If you do go get an ace, a 600-point ace, you are going to have to give a little bit because the average is 400 points on your pitching staff. Or you can, keep that average. But either way, you're looking at this and asking, how many of those innings am I going to have to spend? We said somewhere around the 5 range in the extreme pitching. We said all the way upwards of 15 with the extreme hitting. So here, what do you think? Do you put it right in the middle and say 9 or 10?
I think you do have to count it out, and you really have to see. If you take a guy who's just an absolute horse, if you take one of those aces and you're playing in a league where you have strategy cards to help him out, hopefully you're trying to keep that ace in for the whole game, so close to a 0 there.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have, depending on how you spend, you might have 3s and 2s. Really kind of be honest with yourself. Look at your league and your tired rules and your strategy cards and how much you're going to help and kind of supplement using your strategy card. You don't want to pay for 11 if you're going to pitch 9. You don't want to only plan for 9 if you're going to have to pitch 11 because you're going to be playing tired. So I think you really just have to look at it and do that. And also, when you're doing it, just add 1 or 2 extra innings. Because it's a dice game and because I know all of you guys who love the game so much just get 19s and 20s rolled against you, and the people who aren't planning at all, they're the ones rolling them.
That's true. And then a quick tip for you guys. Always build your strategy deck after you have your team. Don't build your team around your strategy deck. I know too many people who try and build a team to a strategy deck, and it's much easier to do the back end. So if you do end up getting a little bit lighter on the relievers than you thought, or then build your team around some 3 up, 3 downs or around that strategy. Or if you got way more people than you thought, then maybe build a little bit more into trying to score some runs. But definitely just wait till the end to build your strategy deck.
All right, we've completely ignored pitching for the first 2, or the bench for the first 2 times and talking about the bullpen. Are there any interesting bench strategies? I know we're not going to spend 100 points and we shouldn't, but are there any interesting bench strategies?
Yeah, one that we've definitely been bouncing off of each other over here in the Showdown headquarters is drafting a guy like Mike Napoli, not even a guy like Mike Napoli. He's the only one. Mike Napoli, you draft him. He is, in our opinion, a top 4 or 5 first baseman this year, and he's a catcher. He falls under the utility thing. But I think it'd be really interesting to go get a guy like a David Ortiz off the bench who is a 10 with a little bit of pop, and then in the 7th inning, moving Napoli to a catcher, which we've highly recommended punting, and bringing in David Ortiz at the -2 fielding, and now you just added another 10 to your lineup and made your lineup that much deeper for those late innings when they're really important. That could be a really interesting strategy because now you have a 10 at first base for 54 points who can hit some home runs. What about you? Any other interesting players or any interesting strategies?
I like Mark Trumbo and I like Willie Mo Pena as late inning, low on base hitters. They have those nice big home runs. They might scare tired pitchers out of the game. They might get a chance versus a low control pitcher. You really have a chance to really steal a run with a player who's not going to cost you many points. Or, as we all know, sometimes getting someone to make a mid-inning change when they don't want to out of pure fear can have value.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to thin out the bullpen for the rest of the series. I mean, if you're in game 1 out of the series and it's late and a Mark Trumbo or something comes in and scares out a James Shields or scares out a low control reliever or a tired reliever, that helps you later on down the road.
Yeah, I think there is value in that, and I think those are the players that I would look for. always pinch runners are good. Try to pair them in such a way where you get the most bang for your buck there. Try to get pinch runners who play at positions that your slow players play at, so you might get to leave them in the game. I always have Mark McGwire on my teams when we play in keeper leagues, and that means I need to bring in a second first baseman. So I just need more players. Just make sure you're using your head there a little bit.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any other questions on building your teams, please just contact us.
Yeah. Leave a comment down here in the YouTube comments, as long as it's not a trolling comment. You could also leave a comment on the blog or get in contact with one of us on Twitter, and we'd be happy to answer this. We love talking about Showdown at all times of the day, not just here on YouTube for you guys. So.
Absolutely. Hope you guys can just enjoy this. Go build good teams. Hope you go win a bunch of games because of this. And we're going to be coming back to you. Our next segment is going to be on power hitters, and we're going to be talking about leadoff hitters and particular kind of players and ranking them.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get a new guest host. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet. If not, then we're going to come back with our connoisseur, Kyle Van Pelt.
Yeah.
This has been Colby Tallafuss bringing you latest Showdown updates.
Yeah. Hey, guys, don't forget to check out the links down below and subscribe to the blog and the YouTube channel. Have a good one. Play for the card.
See you guys.